What is going on, esteemed witnesses of the courtroom? This is the Croc to bring in gold, silver, crystal, OUUU match I had against hippiestruggle. Now, he's going to be leading with Electabuzz as I lead with Drago. Now, I know regardless if this thing wants to set up screens or go for Ice Punch or some not, I know I can handle it and one-shot it with an Earthquake should he decide to stay in. So now his Lapras is going to confuse my oncoming Quantum Cat as he switches out to Chansey, very well knowing that he can take anything Quantum Cat wants to go for. He's going to reveal the Body Slam as I go into Glow Up Bulb here for two reasons. Glow Up Bulb can take special attacks for the most part, especially with Leech Seed, especially from the likes of a Chansey. I can put stuff to sleep, which he sees that and goes out into this Heracross, which leads me to believe this thing is going to be Rest Talk variant. Now, that's going to be a bit of a problem for my team, but I've got to be very, very careful the way I play this off. Another reason I went in there is to set up Leech Seed on the Chansey. Now, I figured if he's going to go for the Mega Horn, which he actually gets, he wakes up here, I'm able to get a substitute off, and he's just going to break myself with the Earthquake. So I decided to roar him out. Looking back at that decision, I feel like I should have gone for an attacking move because I can get a lot of damage on this Aerodactyl with this Stab Rock Slide. His Earthquake does not quite take me out, which works out because Aerodactyl is also going to be a bit of a problem for this team. I didn't know what to bring because we just said we'd have a match, and we ended up having 3 OU, 3 UU, so it worked out pretty well. Maybe a borderline splashed in here and there. But, like I said, really, really great match. Then jumping right back into it, got a Glow Up Bulb on Chansey. Once again, Body Slam not going to be able to paralyze me this turn as he goes back into this Heracross to absorb that sleep. Now, he knows that his Mega Horn and Earthquake combination is not really resisted with anything in my team. Luckily, though, he catches the Earthquake on the Rest Talk, allowing me to set up the Leech Seed and switch out into Curryvolt. Now, Curryvolt is going to put in so much work. It is the key player in this team right now. I'm going to go for the Encore as he's just going to stay on that Sleep Talk. So, one of two things has to happen. He's either going to continually Sleep Talk, which is not the more beneficial of the choices, or he's just going to switch out. Which works out perfectly because this oncoming Chansey comes into the Sing, gets put to sleep, and now it's in a bit of a bind as he just decides to protect here. Now, I'm kind of going for Leech Seed both to force the switch on the Chansey and to scout this Chansey's moveset as I go into Des Frog. Now, my Des Frog is a Rain Dance setup user, and it's also got Toxic for residual wear down of the rest of his team. And just not doing it with that Body Slam, not going to find that paralysis, and that Chansey is indeed poisoned, and that is going to present a bit of an issue for that Chansey as he comes into this Dragonite. Now, as I have Drago here, I figure he might go for an Ice Beam, so I switch out to Des Frog, and he does have the Lapras, so I can take unstabbed Thunderbolts, as you see right there. As you guys remember, this is 2nd Gen Max Dynamic Values, and I get a very beneficial Toxic on that Lapras. Now, once again, we have this Heracross and Raichu kind of deal. I actually catch the Para on this T-Bolt. I'm able to paralyze him. I know Unstabbed Earthquake won't one-shot me, but it will do a lot of damage, a lot more than I'd like it to do. But he would rather stay asleep and just attack from the Sleep Talk, which is perfectly fine. I'm not going to be able to Toxic him. I'm just going to set up the Rain because I want to do as much damage to this guy as possible. Whether I have to bring in Curryvolt again to Encore the Sleep Talk to keep him on this Heracross if he wants to, or just to swap out again. Now, if that particular turn was kind of null and void considering he caught Rest with Sleep Talk, I could have done quite a bit of damage with a Rain Dance boosted Surf, but I knew he'd probably switch out into this Chansey, so I was like, okay, I'm going to start setting up growths. I can take Ice Beam, and since my Quantum Cat is poisoned, I won't have to worry about freeze, so that is fantastic. So there's 2 growths right there. And you guys have not seen the last member of my team, and it's also kind of based on, this team's kind of got a weird base to it. It's based on some Yu-Gi-Oh cards and some of the new Battle Pack 3 releases, if you haven't noticed that already. So, at +3, I'm going to be switching out into Trishula because it is completely banned from this game, and you guys are about to find out why. Body Slam not going to find the Para as he goes out to Dragonite. Now, Dragonite doesn't take that +3 boosted Hydro Pump well at all, doing 41% damage, and I guess maybe he didn't think I had Ice Beam, and maybe thought he could go for a Thunder, and that's just not the case. As you see, the Hydro Pump even wearing down Special Walls, even that of Chansey, doing 42%, and then KOing that Chansey, which is going to be fantastic. Now looking at this Aerodactyl, he's probably just going to Toxic Residual instead of just go for an attacking move because it'll help him in the long run. As he brings in this Lapras. Now, I actually have Hidden Power Electric on the Suicune, and it's fantastic. Does 59% to this Lapras. Thunderbolt, only 31% damage there. And I know I could take him out and bring him down all the way to his Heracross. So this rest-talking Heracross is kind of the one-man Superman right now. Mega Horn going to easily take out my Coon from that range, and that's perfectly fine because I can still set up the Rain with Desfrog, and I can also Toxic this thing, forcing its rest. Because I've got to be very, very careful because this thing is very, very dangerous with its Mega Horn. I'm going to force him to rest way before he wants to, and then I could just Encore him onto the Sleep Talk, and he knows this. So he decides to play a little bit more gutsy and just to fire off attacks left and right. As Drallago comes in, Earthquake not going to quite take me out, and I actually go for the Earthquake. The reason I go for the Earthquake is I want consistent, accurate damage because I want him to rest. That's why Quantum Cat comes in here, brings him down to a low range, let the Toxic stack, and now I know he's going to rest, which works out perfectly because one of two scenarios are going to happen here. Either he's going to catch rest on Sleep Talk, or I get a little bit of free damage in, which will help. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen, and I have to eat an Earthquake and die. But it also enables me to come in and Encore the Sleep Talk, but unfortunately he's going to get the Earthquake. And at that point I thought I was pretty much done, just because I guess I thought for some reason that he didn't sleep as long as he should, but he actually wakes up there. He's Encored on the Sleep Talk. I know for the fact that I can handle him one-on-one with Thunderbolt, so that is going to be an incredible one-man Superman. Almost a complete turnabout from this Rest Talk Heracross. And like I said, Revolt putting so much work in with Encore. I hope you guys have enjoyed this match. It's been a fantastic pleasure. It's been a very long time since I've done a Pokemon battle. I actually am on Showdown a lot when I'm at the hospital in just random Wi-Fi spots after taking care of Anna. So at first it didn't work, so that's why I wasn't playing. But now I've got a second and a third gen team. So if you guys want to battle, I'd be happy to battle. And if it's really good like this, I'll be happy to post it. That was a really good game. I'm glad it turned out even on both sides with, you know, one or two borderlines, but mainly a UU-OU match. And thank you, Raichu, for shining right there. Revolt is so cute in the anime, and Raichu is no exception. One of the cutest and most awesome Pokemon, and just the usage of Encore in OU. I would have loved it yesterday versus a Curselex, but I'm not going to take too much of you guys' time. If you guys haven't seen Z's Master's 2nd Gen tutorial or his competitive guide, you guys should check that out. I'll link that below in the description. And rate, comment, subscribe. Peace out, objection, and find the computer room, and deuces.